welcome to the Carolina Warrior TV Podcast. We're live in color. I am.
You are really in color.
Yeah, thank you very much. I understand how dark I am. It's natural. I'm going to live with it. Actually, I didn't start my meter on my phone. You see this? Apple Watch?
Yeah, I did. I think I seen the first one we did.
Yeah,
you just want to keep on rubbing it in my face that you like to live.
It was free, also too. Also free. We're up here. I'm Chaz Bryant alongside Mr. Joe Juggernaut Pacheco up here at your beautiful gym.
Oh yeah, Lunatic Havoc off South Tryon and right off Westinghouse Boulevard. A little bit of everything here.
In fabulous South Charlotte too.
Oh yeah,
it's fabulous. We got another exciting, I think it's going to be an exciting interview as I try to put on my glasses here. Another exciting interview coming up for us. Of course, we got U.S. freedom fighter. I don't know what number it is. I'm not very good at remembering what number it is, but we got another exciting interview coming up, which I'm always glad because that means me and you don't have to talk to each other for 20 straight minutes.
That's always a blessing for me.
Of course, last time I was in my PJs last time we did the podcast.
I might have been in my underwear.
Okay, well, that's I guess we're taking it a little too far. But we got. I'm really looking forward to this interview. We got a good guy coming up. I tried to get him a couple of weeks ago, but he was off punching people in the face in the desert.
Enjoy it while you can, because before too long, he's not going to want to do shit like this.
Especially with us. That, of course, I'm talking about Mr. Dylan Cala. He's in about, I would probably say about a week from today. He will be down there in, I believe, Columbia, South Carolina, with USS Freedom Fighter, taking on, and hopefully I can pronounce his opponent's name correctly. Congo Bachachukenda. That's as best as I'm going to get it. That's as best as I want to attempt.
Like your native tongue.
No, unless your native tongue, you're talking about New York.
No.
Long Island.
No, I'm talking about that dark forest that you come from.
The dark forest of Bayshore, Long Island, New York. But I'm talking about Mr. Dylan Cala. He's on the phone with us right now. Dylan right now is training out of the Piedmont Training Center. He's a 3-1 pro. Take that, Mr. Joe Pacheco.
Oh, he's an awesome guy, man. Have you seen him fight?
Who? Dylan? Of course, several times.
As a pro?
Yes. And I saw as an young amateur. We're going to bring in Dylan Cala right now, just to hopefully move this program somewhat closer. How you doing today, Dylan?
Good. What's going on, guys?
Nothing much. Apparently, we had you in stitches. It's a comedy routine we got going on here.
Right.
It's a horrible comedy routine. Dylan, let's just get down to the easy part of this interview, more than likely. How are you feeling right now with less than a week before your fight here?
I feel great, man. I'm just, working out the last couple of details of the camp and, getting the last little weight off. All work's done now, so I'm just kind of, waiting this week out to get back in the cage.
How's your weight?
My weight's good, man. I've kind of got this weight cut down to a science. So, I've done it a couple of times, and I know exactly what I need to do and what I don't need to do to, not make it too hard on myself. So I don't make the weight cut too big of an issue. I do it the right way and early enough to where it's not too much of a problem for me.
I only ask that because that's a standard interview question for fighters. There's no real. Yeah, that's just a standard.
I wasn't going to tell you the truth anyway.
Of course, that's fine.
Chaz is as basic as it gets sometimes.
Yeah, especially.
So all right, let's just break down. You don't have to go into any great detail, man, but break down what the last week of training is like for you until the fight.
Man, this week I'll kind of just, I'll do walkthroughs every day, how I see the fight going. I'll just kind of do the last couple of easy workouts for the weight off, just working on speed and timing and things, and just kind of sweat the last couple of pounds off. My, all the hard work's done, all my conditioning's there, and, I'm done with strength training, and, I had my last hard day of sparring yesterday, so I'm, pretty much just riding it out, getting the last little bit of weight off, doing some sweating, and keeping my conditioning where it needs to be, and just getting ready to get in fight mode.
I'm sort of moving on past this fight coming up. I really don't have too many questions about it. The question I sort of do, I've watched you progress from amateur to a pro all these years. Well, all of us who've been around this game for so long. What's the difference for you now when you started as an amateur to where you're at right now as a 3-1 pro? Mentally and physically.
It's just my mindset to the game. I think when I first started, man, I was just a wrestler who wanted competition. I've always known I wanted to do this, but I didn't really understand the game. I didn't understand what went into it. I thought if you trained hard, you won fights, and that's all that mattered. So I think over the time, and I took a couple of losses that kind of opened my eyes a little bit and realized, hey, you've got to do a lot more than just work hard. Everyone's working hard. Everyone's training, so you've got to do all the things. You've got to put the whole game together if you want to be the best. So I think I've just learned more so than anything, more so about myself, and just more so where I can push myself and how I can make myself better. I started out with just pretty much wrestling, grabbing hold of guys. This Saturday I plan to show everyone a whole different side of me they weren't expecting to see. I promise you that.
Yeah, you started off with the mean guys, with the renegade guys, and you had and I remember those days. You had the not the mean scowl, but you had the scowl on your face, that intimidating face.
The Gastonia Greats renegade.
And now
I think that was just part of it.
Yeah.
I felt like that's what I don't know. It was just fighting. Now it's my life. It's everything I do. So it's I walk around with that mean look on my face all the time. So I had to sit out a little bit,
and I was going to mention that because I remember I was just pulling up old photos and videos, watching you in your beginnings, and now seeing and since I'm stalking you on Facebook and the Instagram, just you got more of a you got a smile on your face now. Things are you're seems like you're happier now. My question is, and I'm jumping on Joe's time right here. Do you sort of contribute that to being more of a family guy now?
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, I think I'm spending so much time at the gym, and then when I'm not at the gym, I'm at home with my family. So I just don't have time to run around. When I first got into the game, I was young. I was 18, so I was still running around and doing all the shit young kids do, and getting in trouble and doing stupid shit. So. I kind of had that time where I realized, hey, if I want to do this and I want to be as good as I say I'm going to be, then I've got to knuckle down. And, I was just kind of able to, make myself, find what I need to be doing and make the best of all my time. So I just kind of limited down my free time, man. I'm either training or I'm at home with my family. So I don't really have a lot of other time to run around and do the stupid things I was doing before, or I've made this my life, and that's it. I've realized that this is what I want to do, and I'm going to be the best I can at it. So, got to give it my all.
Before I let Joe ask the next question, I want to remind the audience. He said he started when he was 18. This little guy is still 23 or 24, ladies and gentlemen. So he's still young and very envious of.
You want to talk about feeling old? I remember watching this kid, wrestling in the wrestling room when I was in high school, and he was still a god. Middle school, getting ready for junior high nationals or something like that.
Yeah.
Drilling in, and now here he is as a 3-1 pro. Working his way up to the top, and now I feel like an old man. Mortality sucks. All right,
seems like forever ago. I remember those days.
Man, I know it. He hit on the family portion of it as far as your development as a fighter as well as a person. I mean, you have a great core of teammates and a great coaching staff there at your gym, man. How much has that helped you develop in your personal life as well as your professional life?
Man, it's helped me tremendously. My head coach Jeff Jimmo is, I believe, one of the best coaches in the world, man. He's he's been a big part of my development as to learning, just to love this game and to make it a lifestyle. He's helped me tremendously in that moment. We've got so many top-level guys that I'm working with. Ricky Rainey and Scott Holzman's in and out. Justin Kish is there training. So, I'm working with all these people that are on the top level, and I see, what it takes, and I see, the things that go into the training. And I think right now we have a great team. We've got a lot of young guys that are coming up too. We've got a really good group, and it's a small group right now, but everyone's, accelerating very quickly. And I think it's helping everybody, not just me, but everyone on the team is growing very quickly.
And hey, I'm all about the senseless plug, man. So please, for all the Gastonia people who have kids and are thinking about, wanting to fight or just wanting to train to get in shape and wanting to learn the art that we fell in love with, man, go ahead and tell us the name of your gym and the location, brother.
Yeah, definitely, guys. It's Piedmont Training Center. It's in 2311 Low Road, Gastonia, North Carolina. It's right off the intersection of Cox Road and Ozark.
We expect a check to come in within the next week.
So you hop right on Cox and you go right down.
You hop
right on Cox and you go right there by Low Road.
I lived in Gastonia, so I know where the hop on.
I hop on Cox.
Yes.
Right there.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to repeat that whole part right there.
Point of fact is there is an IHOP, International House of Pancakes, on Cox Road.
Yes.
When you call, they say, "Hi, thank you for calling IHOP on Cox."
Yeah.
All right, so a couple of quick questions. All right, so
how many people are going to call them tonight now trying to get that answer out of them?
God, I hope a lot. I hope I make somebody's day miserable over there. All right, so I did have some questions here for you. All very serious to me and near and dear to my heart. So I expect to see a very serious answer. The first question I'm going to ask you, you seriously have like 10 to 15 seconds to answer, and if you don't, you lose by default. It's a game in this question, all right? So last week of training, top 5 animes you want to watch?
Oh man, just Dragon Ball Z. That's the only one I watch. Ricky gives me hell all the time. That's the only one I have.
All right. All right. So
I'll be on Dragon Ball Z all week though.
All right. So let's see. Which series of Dragon Ball Z are you trying to watch all of it through?
Oh man, my son just got the Android season, so he just got it all on disc. He got a 5-disc set, so we've been watching that every night.
That's what's up.
Going around trying to beat up the androids and Cell. So
I have no idea what the hell you two nerds are talking about.
He's on the Cell Saga, man. Get up on your series. Doctor.
No, I have no idea what you nerds are talking about. You could be talking about
Android 17, 16, Cell.
I've got an Android phone.
Man, he's got them all. He's got the little action figures. He sits on the bed and the couch. And just goes crazy with them.
See, you're raising them right already. All right, now let's go with your favorite Dragon Ball Z character and your son's favorite Dragon Ball Z character.
Oh man, I think I have to say Vegeta, man. Everyone goes with Goku, but I don't know. Vegeta's just got that. He's got that rawness to him. I like.
Hard work.
Plus, Lucas loves Trunks, so that works out good.
Yeah,
Trunks when we play.
That's only because Daddy wants to be Vegeta. That's why.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm lost in this conversation.
For once, Chaz is speechless.
I have
Thank
no idea
God.
what
Me and my favorite character is Majin Buu because he gets in shape for fights and then he gets fat and eats everything. So totally my guy. All right, the last question I got for you. Okay. What does it mean to you to be Jimmo trained?
Man, Jeff has changed my whole mind in this game, man. I just I can't thank him enough for everything he's done for me. Jeff is, you get a lot of coaches who are really good at jiu-jitsu, man, or really good at kickboxing, but Jeff is so well-rounded in every aspect of the game, man, and striking and grappling and the diet behind it and just everything. I wouldn't be half where I am right now if I wouldn't have met Jeff a year ago. So we've only been together a short period of time, and I've made a lot of strides. So I plan on this Saturday. A lot of people are going to see a side of me they haven't seen. I'm going to open up the whole game. People are going to be pretty surprised by my performance.
So
I'll be quick in that.
One thing is kind of an indirect question here, but when are you going to ask Uncle Jeff when he's going to copyright the shirts and get some Jimmo trained shirts? Hashtag or no hashtag.
Man, we can't even get this guy to take a picture with us, let alone make a shirt.
I think he's running from the feds.
We got, if you look at Scott's Holzman shirt in his last fight, we got a Mount Holzman shirt. It's like Mount Everest. We got Jeff's face on one of the mountains.
No kidding. I tell you what, y'all you short guys hang out. Tell me.
I'm on the shortness. Dylan, I have a question for you.
I think I'm the tallest one out of that group.
Jeez.
Nobody wants to be the tallest Oompa Loompa.
Dylan, I want to circle back to the guys you have training with you out there at Piedmont. I know you have Duran McDonald out there now, a couple other guys who I would assume would be making a debut on some cards, probably some amateurs out there. I just want to touch on some of the pros you have going on out there with Ricky Rainey and Bellator and Scott Holzman. How did that come about, Scott Holzman in the UFC? How does that come about that the young guys are seeing pros in your gym, you're training with these guys? What's the impression like from you to have these guys in your gym, and what are you hearing about from the guys, the younger guys coming through there who now have this huge swath of experience?
Yeah, man, I think, and you know, a lot of that kind of boils back to Jeff. I know, Scott's been working with Jeff for a long time, so Scott comes down when he's not at the lab, and gets him working with us and trains. And I think you can just kind of see the morale of people kind of raised when you get guys like that.
Absolutely.
You get guys that are doing the right things and have made it from doing the right things, and just proves to people that it's possible. You get a lot of these guys at these little gyms, and they believe in what they're doing, but they're just in there working hard. They're not mindfully doing training, and they're not believing in what they're doing. And I think that's what it boils down to, man. When you see people who have made it and you realize that it's possible, you start to believe in the process. And that's the first step. You got to believe in what you're doing before any of it's going to start coming together. I think having those top level guys in there have especially for the young guys, man, and even myself. I've always been around top level guys, but just being able to, I went out to the lab. I go out to the lab quite a bit. They have a room full of top level guys, so it's just it kind of makes you realize that you can compete with those guys at the top level, and you can, it's not. You see them on TV sometimes, and you put them up on a pedestal, like, these guys are, amazing. It's cool to realize that they're just regular people, and you can bust your ass and be the same thing.
Absolutely. I can speak from experience on that too. When I used to compete, and even being in the room with you guys on a regular basis, the biggest challenge I had, in my career, especially in the younger part of it, was just having that stigma of being from Gaston County and not really seeing the elite train or not knowing what they do, because once again, MMA is relatively new in North Carolina, and any level of success in Gaston County is phenomenally on the downside.
Yeah, definitely.
And you guys are doing a great job of bringing that out and showing that, being from that side of the river and being from Gaston County, that you can make it and you can make strides to become the best at what you do if you make the dedication and do it.
Yeah, man. I feel like, for a long time in MMA, it's been, you feel like if you want to be the best, you've got to pack up and, travel to American Top Team or, go to one of the top gyms. And, that's good, man. But, we're trying to build here. We're trying to build out from here. So we've got tons of guys that come in and work with us. And, I think that, you get the right core group of people around you and you believe in what you're doing, you don't have to be around, the best team in the world. It's always good to go out there and see what's going on and see what the other parts of the game are about. But, we're trying to build here as much as we can.
How was Arizona?
Arizona's awesome, man. The lab is, it's amazing. John Crouch is head coach out there. He's awesome, man. Such a great guy. I'm able to go out there and stay with Scott. So, the training out there is awesome. They got so many top-level guys. Awesome jiu-jitsu program. Super tough MMA team. I get rounds guys with MMA or guys in the UFC, Bellator, all the top promotions. So it's good because there's not a lot of small guys around here for me to get to do sparring rounds and things like that with. So I get to go out there and get some hard rounds in for a couple of weeks and kind of get a little more competition in training. It's good for me. Then I'm able to come back here and worry about my weight cut and fine tune with Uncle Jeff and get everything on point and crisp.
I'm going to get you out on this because I know we're running out of time, and I know whatever you got to do tonight, we want you to go ahead and do it. But I've got a hypothetical for you, and I've got Chaz's magic crystal ball, and I'm looking into the future. I think
in a big way.
Let's say in 2 years from now, let's say after this fight, you go and you win. And I'm a Bellator recruiter, and I'm looking for guys to stock up our rosters. And my car breaks down, and it's in front of the hotel where you guys are fighting at. And you win, and I come up to you and say, hey, I want to sign you up. In 2 years, and now we're going into the future now, in 2 years, you're going to be wearing a Bellator belt, you're champion in your division, might be going in for another rematch to retain your championship, and you're probably signed one of the biggest contracts Bellator's ever had. But UFC doesn't call you anywhere during those 2 years. Will you be disappointed, or will you be proud that you've been a Bellator champ? It's not the UFC, but you're the Bellator champion, reigning Bellator champion, got one of the biggest contracts they ever signed. Will you be disappointed you never got a call from the UFC, or are you happy?
Man, that's I wouldn't say I would be disappointed, but I don't know if I want the UFC. You know, I want to be on the biggest stage there is. I think, you know, I was just at Bellator. They run an awesome show. You know, it's a great promotion. But I just, you know, I want to be in the UFC. I want to challenge myself against the best guys in the world. And when I do win that world title, I want there to be any question about who's the best. I want it to be, you know, everyone to know I'm the best. So I don't think I'll get to that point, man. I don't think that I'll ever sign a contract anywhere that's going to hold me down outside of the UFC. I feel like, you know, I know that I'm going to make it. I don't know. I can't tell you when. But I know, you know, as long as I keep doing what I'm doing and I keep knocking these guys out, there won't be any other question. So I think, you know, if Bellator comes knocking or they come around town and they want to do a 1 or 2 fight thing, I don't have any problem with that. But I don't think I'll do anything outside of that. I'm waiting for the top show.
Absolutely. That's honesty. That's honesty you don't find in our politicians nowadays. There,
No.
Joe Pacheco.
Yeah, I
No, you
mean,
don't.
And we appreciate it.
biggest paycheck or not, I just, you know, I want to, you know, if you're worth the money, you'll get it wherever you're at. So I want to be in the top organization.
Absolutely. Joe?
I hear you, little Connor. You know that
He's making his money, whatever he's got to do it. I'll do it my own way.
That-
That's how to make the money.
absolutely. Hey, man, I'm never gonna knock anyone's hustle. That's for sure. You know that really was a great question. You know, I don't know how to follow that one up.
Yeah, that was a good one, Chaz.
I learned my craft, gentlemen. I learned my craft.
I hear you. I hear you.
We're going to let you get out of
What you
here.
do.
We're going to let you get out of here, Dylan.
right,
We appreciate it, and I hate saying good luck to guys because you don't need it, but we look forward to seeing your hand raised, whether it's down there in person or through pictures and videos.
Like your teammate Seki says, good energies send your way.
Oh, Seki. All right, I appreciate you guys having me on.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you. You do the same, man.
Thank you,
We'll see
Dylan.
You guys.
Yep. All right. That was Dylan Cala. I've got to say this. I like Dylan Cala. I don't really haven't had too much interaction with him lately, person to person. Last time I seen him was up in Greensboro back in April, but I've always liked Dylan Cala.
Oh yeah, his development as a person as well as a fighter, as an athlete, being around those guys, being with Jeff, learning, you know, from his history and growing. I mean, you want to talk about leaps and bounds, man. You know, he said it. He's not doing anything that's going to cause him any friction to move forward and achieve what he wants to do.
Yeah, he's been a top-level guy. I know he had that time off a couple of years ago. I guess he took off a year or 2 years after he had a knee injury, knee surgery, but he's come back and just starting to tear it up. And whether it's in Bellator or UFC or wherever the hell he
There
goes.
is no, he's just said it. There is no other option but UFC. Burn the boats, say what you want to say. He is going to the UFC or nothing.
And we want to see him there. And I think that's the whole point. We want that kid to be at the top. So another great interview. I'm proud of ourselves.
I'm proud of him. He did a great job. Dylan did a great job interviewing himself.
He flung questions at himself, back and forth. All right, I think we're going to get on out of here. The fights are coming up here, folks. Next week is the start of more great MMA action in Carolinas, USFFC, down in, I believe it's Columbia. I don't know I forgot the name of the hotel. I should be working it. I should be in charge of all these hotels. I feel
You
like.
should, but you're not.
I'm not.
You know.
And I can't go down there. And then after that, the week after that, you got 2 fights up here in Charlotte. I'm trying to get my watch back to see what time we have, which is probably 50. It stopped. stopped at the 15:30 mark.
Okay.
Well,
so you
it
broke
doesn't
it.
matter. I did something.
This is
I
what
folded my
happened
arms.
when you rely on darkness to do what he's supposed to do.
That sounds awful racist. That sounds
You
like...
know what? I can say that darkness. Darkness. Darkness.
All right, folks. Remember to catch us out on Facebook. Search for Carolina Warrior TV. Check us out on YouTube. Make sure you again search Carolina Warrior TV. SoundCloud also has the audio, the great dulcet tones of us, the audio podcast of this whole thing.
You have to check out the audio podcast.
It's like NPR.
It's fantastic.
It's like NPR with a fist.
All right, guys. This is Joe Pacheco and Darkness signing out. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week, guys.
Bye.
Carolina Warrior TV.